Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planethead. um, a little bit of an update. Today is my second work day, so I get to just have a little bit of time that I can play today. I was playing a little bit earlier, did some rat killing to get my bonuses for the day. Um, and then I wanted to bring up, I think this is close to my 50th day on my 100th day jaunt that I'm going on with my new account, coming back and playing. Um, Over the weekend, I went through and found my old accounts, my two main accounts that I used to play with 4 or 5 years ago. Um, and I kind of wanted to go through and see what we had here. I saved these. I'm not going to go through all of these guys, just to show you here. My current account that I'm playing with when I came back, I have about a little bit over 1.5 million skill points saved up over the first 50 days that I've used. If you notice here, I've got three accounts that have way more than all of those. I think this guy here, I'm not sure how much he has. Well, let's go check him out. Um, Now, these are alpha accounts. I haven't actually looked at these. The other day, I did jump in very briefly just to see if I had any old mails that had gone through. Um, oh, there we go. Skill training completed for him. Okay, this is Franklin. Um, so each one of these guys here, ooh, looks like I was flying a Caldari ship with him. I'm going to take more time later on to figure out what these guys are at. I just want to see where he's at with his skill points here. You have no skills in training. Is there anything here I can skill up? Okay. Can I just throw anything in or whole upgrades maybe? Yeah, might as well just throw these in here. So now I've got 23 days worth of training. I won't be playing this account, but at least that's something that will be there whenever I come back to play. Um, Actually, why not? This is Now that I'm thinking about this, this is something that's a little bit helpful. I can just drop these in here. I'm not even going to think about it. Um, and maybe if I do come back and play them, I'll have those skills. Let's see here. How many skill points do you have, sir? So he's at 3 million discs or points. If I remember correctly, I think an alpha can only get up to 5 million. Ooh, that's pretty cool clothing there. It's been a long time. Oh, I'm at war? Who am I at war with? Oh, I'm at war with. Oh, am I in a. Looks like I'm faction warfare with him. Okay, cool. What I wanted to do was see what kind of equipment I've got for these guys. Now, this guy's. I think it's my least of all of them, so. What's my. I swear I might have an Astor House sitting out here. So he was born in 2000. Really? Born in 2013. So that was 9 years ago. Only a net worth of 78 million. So really not that big of a character. Okay, I want to check out my big boy guy here. So we will go back. Because I swear, I think one of my characters has a station. Log off. Not sure which one it is. I'm hoping. I guess I can get some daily rewards out of this. Oh, that is one thing. Moving up here, I can get my stuff there. Good. So, oh, dang it! Ah, didn't mean to do that. Just pulled up the same guy. That was stupid of me. Log off. I do love this new feature of being able to log off while still in the game. This was not here when I used to play. Okay, so Clarence Stonemason. I used to have two characters, Clarence Stonemason and Clarence Freemason. And then I also did a William Stonemason and a William Freemason. And then I threw on an extra couple here. But these two are my main ones. If I remember correctly, I think the in Iceland at the CCP headquarters, there's a a monument there, and there's a good chance that these characters might be on that monument. So let's check it out. He's got 31 million. This is the two characters that I had whenever I was living out in Nullsec. Now he is in Agilia right now, but it's an alpha account. So I can't fly it. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to be playing this at all. I just want to see, because this is actually going to go into my planning in the future. I swear I had an Astor House. I don't think I sold it. So I'm going to go into my assets here. And pretty sure. Well, I got a lot of stuff all over the place here. Not a ton. Do I have Astor House? I don't think so. Okay. So what all do I have? I've got... Well, how much are you worth, sir? Got a lot of ISK. Got 650 million ISK. Ooh, geez, my corporation balance is 903 million ISK. Okay, I'm fine with that. And he's worth 2.9 million. I'm sorry, 2.9 billion. Okay, so we got a stabber there. That's nothing. Nothing really there. So wait a second, J.I. Oh, so that's the container, and that's what that is. Okay. So I've got a mining barge and a transport there. It's good that all of these seem to be in high-sec variant battle cruiser. What is... Oh, that's my old Myrmidon. I used to love Myrmidons back in the day. Good, good, good. So is that my Gilead that I have right now? I think that's the one that I'm currently in. Yeah, I'm in Hull. What is here? What are you? That is a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of junk. Wait, I saw a ship. Let's see here. Can I change it to... Boy, I've got a lot of containers here. Oh, this is asset safety stuff. Okay, I gotcha. So whenever it drops off the... I see what's going on. Okay, so these were items that were inside stations that got blown up. And then dropped out into asset safety. So I got a lot of stuff to pick up here. That's a bunch of ships there. And then... It's just a shuttle, okay. I'm understanding now. So, more? That's just a Alpha 1, that's a cruiser. Some warriors. So, as you can tell, I've got a bunch of junk just lying around here. Pretty interesting. So, long story short, my current plan, I think I'm through about 50 days. I want to go another 50 with my current account and keep that as my main account. And then slowly start integrating these other accounts in down the road after I get past my 50 days and I go Omega. If I still have my Astor House, I'm going to look for a spot to drop it someplace. Now, it's got to be a real quiet place. I might even go wormhole. I'm not sure. Um, but I'm still learning, getting back into the game. I'm really happy with having spent the 50 days. An example of that was yesterday or the day before. I made a mistake. I died, and this hopefully this will save you from dying. I don't know why. I had scanned down a wormhole. I was looking for wormholes to get out of Stain to jump through, and I warped. So I scanned down a wormhole, and normally I warp 100 out from it, just in case somebody warps through the wormhole. They're not there to kill me. I don't know why this one time I just warped directly to the wormhole. Turns out it was a Triglavian wormhole, and I got blown up by the Triglavian sitting out defending it. Really wasn't expecting. I kind of warped in. And I was like, why are these red ships here? I was half awake. Um, no one was in systems, so I wasn't too worried about it. And suddenly I was dead. And then they potted me and sent me home. So, um, just a little bit of an update there. Do not warp directly to the wormhole when you're first checking it out. Warp at 100, check out the wormhole, see what type of wormhole it is. Then you can always warp away and then warp back again. Save yourself dying. Luckily, I was only in one of my base magnates, and it really wasn't worthwhile. And it sped me up because what I ended up doing was I ended up going home to, it dropped me off over near Amar. I ended up picking up a Dragoon BPC um, and also a Mauler BPC and a couple other items. And over the course of the next day, ran the gauntlet. And to give you an idea, I'll tell you exactly what ended up happening. So I was able to, this was over the course of about a half a day without a cloak. I always start off and pay here. Now, things that I have learned when traveling. Number one, use a frigate. Don't use a shuttle. I know shuttles are really cheap, but use a frigate and throw an inertial stabilizer on it and a nanofiber hull and a micro warp drive, 5M. Why those three? Well, the inertial stabilizer and the nanofiber will make you turn faster. Whereas the micro warp drive, if you pump it once, you'll get that speed. And I'll tell you why that's important here in a second. But the first part, so my goal was to go from pay right here down to this area here where I'm producing a few small things to keep alive. Now to do that, I have to go through here and along this road. And there's, as I've talked about before, when you're looking at different areas here, you want to look at spots that there's a one in, one out, or places where people have to go through. Some spots you have to go blind. Other times you can get by with it. I'm not going to go into the mechanics as much. Just tell you what ended up happening. The other thing that you can do is if you know that an autopilot route would send somebody a certain way, go a little bit out of the way. So I started off in pay yesterday, and when I checked Ominar, because I have to go Ominar to F7, I noticed here that there were some kills that were happening in that area. So my thought was they're either camping out on this gate here or this gate here because your autopilot will take you directly that direction. So what I ended up doing was I came in and I went up to Modon first. Now, again, not 100% foolproof, but, and then I came down. That way, there was much less of a chance that they would be camping the northern gate here. So, went up that way, came through, and lo and behold, there were guys sitting here camping this gate right here. And I was able to use that with my save spots that I was able to save. So, I saved myself some time and possibly dying. I had blueprints on me that I wanted to keep safe. But I jumped through to F7. Now, F7, I did a quick search and saw that nobody had died recently. And with the through Dotland here, whenever you click on Dotland, It'll tell you, okay, has anybody died recently? And I hadn't seen any in the last couple hours, so I'm looking at pod kills and ship kills. The second one is to look at your in-game map and see who's in the average number of pilots in the system over the last 30 minutes. I hadn't seen anything there. So I did make this jump. You've got to take a chance every once in a while. I did it, got in here, and then again noticed Z6 to AD, or Z6 had a kill or two in the last couple hours, or the last hour or so. Unfortunately for me, I was so elated about getting to F7, I forgot where I was. I wasn't looking, and I thought I was at Z6 already. And I jumped through. Luckily, there wasn't anybody on this gate. They were actually camping this gate right here. So the second trick, or third or fourth trick that I'm talking about to get through here was I warped in here and I saw that there was a flycatcher in a warp disruptor bubble sitting on the gate right here. I logged off. I went and made some food. Because normally gate campers will only spend an hour or two there because then they move on to another spot because they don't want to be caught by guys who are wanting to stop those gate camps, which is something down the road I might be interested in doing. I'd love to get a group of people together and look for gate camps and try to disrupt them. So I logged off, then logged back in, and that guy was gone. An hour, 2 hours later, his warp disruptor bubble was still there. So maybe he was off peeing or using the bathroom or something. I don't know. But I was able to shoot through here, get to AZ. Again, doing the same thing. I saw a few kills recently in these two systems. So instead of going directly, because my autopilot was saying go through this, I went north, up this way. Now, my first couple of thoughts were, if I get around here and shoot down, then I'm good. I was able to get all the way to 5J, and again, another guy, this was a couple hours later, different set of guys, was warp bubbling here. So I went and docked back up here and went and did some yard work. Again, I'd only played about 5 minutes, but I was able to get a little bit farther, got some stuff done around the house, came back in 30 minutes later. These guys were gone. Boop, boop, boop. Last part, now this is the toughest part of the gauntlet here, because there's a good chance some of these might be held. And this is where it came in really important. These three systems were pretty much empty, if I remember correctly. Then I got all the way to, I think it was RPS, and I was trying to jump into LC. This is where that fit I was talking about earlier, having a fast frigate like an executioner and throwing on your warp micro warp drive and your nanofiber and inertial stabilizers. I was in the RPS. I dropped off my loot or my stuff that I was carrying with me and then jumped through LC because I know this is kind of a hotbed sometimes. Jumped through and there was a warp bubble all around the gate. I did the first thing you're supposed to do with that. I took a breath, looked to make sure where he was at. He was about 12 or 13 kilometers off me, a little bit farther than that. And then rather than try to run out of the warp bubble, I retreated. I ran back to the gate. And this worked 100%. Since I had the inertial stabilizer, it turned my ship really quickly. I pumped that micro warp drive and headed straight to the gate. He actually did lock me down. He did warp scramble me, or webify me. So that was trying to slow me down. But that micro warp drive gave me that initial boost. So I just had to travel that 10 kilometers or so to get to the gate. He did shoot me once or twice, got me down into my armor because I had nothing else on the ship. Why? Because I don't want to put anything else that might affect anything there, whether it be his tracking or anything like that. Now, I could go with something better, but it was a cheap ship. got through the gate, came back up, docked up here, and did the same thing that I did before. Um, I went and got some stuff taken care of, came back, um, and then jumped through again with nothing in the ship. Nobody was there. Went back through the gate, got my stuff, and got all the way home here. And now I can make a couple of cruisers. I can skill into that. I brought a Dragoon. I just built my first Dragoon. I still need to skill up into my drones level 4s and level 5s. That's probably what my next video will be about the next about 2 or 3 days from now whenever I get those skills up there. But just to give you an idea of what you can do, the meta game, the different things there aren't just about your fit, aren't just about pointing and clicking. It's all about knowing what it can do. So, not a whole lot to talk about today. So, ultimate goal, I got about 50 days left on this experiment. I've learned a ton. I've remembered a ton from how I used to play. And kind of my uh, bonus for completing the 100 days when I get 50 more days done is I'm now looking at my old accounts and saying, okay, what's there? What can I do? And those will be some great times. And where do I want to go to live? Do I want to stay in Stain? Do I want to go into low-sec? Do I want to go into null-sec, join anybody there? I'm not 100% sure. I could go back to Syndicate. But that'll be the next growth spot. So other than that, that's all I got to say. If anybody has any ideas or thoughts, just feel free to message me. You can YouTube message me, or you can send it to my in-game Jeremiah Johnson 72. Even though the character has less skills, I'm going to keep that as my main character and just grow from there. The other ones I'll probably start pulling out once the 100 days are done, but just to see what I can do. But yeah, alrighty, that's about it. Unfortunately, again, this is my work day, so I don't have a lot else to do, but just some updates. Have a good one. Fly safe, fly dangerously, stay warm, and hope everything's good out there. Have a good one. Bye-bye.